Real life, 8 great minutes with my friend Cole Kukowski. What's up, man?
How we doing? How we doing?
Good to see you. It's good to see another Minnesotan too.
Loud and proud.
So, I mean,
Can
some
we can
people
we talk?
probably,
Can we talk 8 minutes about the land of 10,000 lakes?
yes, 8 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer for 8 minutes, which is good. So, I mean, people might see you at church, but tell me a little bit about where you came from and how did you get to Aberdeen?
Yeah, I grew up in southeast Minnesota in a small town called Lewiston. Out here, I compare it to Warner. Since I have moved away, the town is unfortunately dying. The grocery store is gone. A lot of the businesses is gone. So just no real interest to be home, I should say. I went to college at Mankato, graduated high school in 2009, went to Mankato for 4 years, very involved there throughout college, and then went to grad school at South Dakota State down in Brookings, and that is where I met my now wife, Megan, who is from here. So we moved back. I finished grad school. She finished her undergrad same year, moved back to town, and took a marketing job here in town. And then about 3 years ago, made kind of a career change, hopefully a lifelong change, into being a financial advisor with Edward Jones here in town. And yeah, my wife and I love Aberdeen. Again, she being from here, but Aberdeen is big for me, so I love everything that goes on around here, and try and get involved as much as we can.
Was there something that you really noticed about Aberdeen when you first moved to town that you were just like, wow, this is not like any place else? What makes it unique?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So a lot of my friends back home or from college, whatever, ask me, "You being out there, you must hunt and fish," and most of my family on my wife's side does. I've just never been into it. So they ask me what I do out here, and um, I really don't know how to answer it. We live a pretty low key life, but Aberdeen is great, just because of the sense of community. Not only at Bethlehem, we're members, but just the different circles that we're in. I'm big into high school football officiating, so I got my kind of the guys I ref with, guys we golf with. Just kind of the tight knit community. And South Dakota and Aberdeen, kind of specifically, I noticed right away it's just kind of us against the world in a good way. So much of the state revolves around Sioux Falls, that everyone's just kind of got a chip on their shoulder here, and I noticed that right away. And again, in a good way, that everyone here is just hungry and really proud to be from Aberdeen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing I know about you is that you do half marathons, right? Do
I
some
do.
running?
I do. It probably doesn't look like it. I picked up running in college, just trying to stay in shape a little bit. But after college, actually my first one I did with my wife in Brookings, and I have done, I believe I'm on 8 or 9.
Wow,
I'd have to count. Yeah. The
that's
ultimate goal is to do
awesome.
20. Yeah, my goal is to do 25 in my life. And I love it. I love kind of making a weekend out of it, going to a cool town and having, kind of the fair kind of beforehand, essentially, and a lot of presenters there, and the race itself. And what I love about running is that it's you versus your training. And, you can have a goal in mind, but you can't account for a lot of things, weather, wind, hills, whatever it is. But no, I love it. I love the grind of it. And I love just the, roughly 2 hours out there by yourself, and nobody's going to know if you quit except you. So I've really just become addicted to that feeling. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if I was a high school student, why would I want to set a goal for something? You know what I mean? That seems like, who does that? Like what has a goal done for you?
It's everything. In what I do, we've always been told that if it matters, you got to measure it. And in my life, that's, just kind of activity, the number of calls I'm making, the number of people I'm talking to. But also, on the personal side, whether you're trying to get in better shape, work out more, eat healthier, whatever it is, a goal without a plan, how does that say? A goal without a plan is simply a wish. and you gotta write it down. I'm a big believer in that. Write it down on old school pen and paper, somewhere you can see it every day, just so you know why you're doing it. Simon Sinek, I believe his last name. I think that's how you pronounce it. Start with why, and that's everything. Is knowing why you're doing it. If you know the why, the how becomes a little more easy for you. So that's how I say that.
Hmm. One time you actually got up and did a sermon with me. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this because you were up there and you gave a better sermon than I did, which was awesome. So you got up there with, some people, and, one of the stories I believe you shared was about someone who was important in your faith life, which I think was your grandma. Am I remembering this right?
Yeah. So the story was, I believe the original question is when you kind of realized your faith was real for the first time, something along those lines. And my senior year of high school, which would have been 2008, 2009, I lost my grandpa in the fall, and my grandma shortly after that. But we were in the nursing home. I come from a large extended family. We're all together, and everyone was kind of had a hand on her final moments. And my uncle was saying the Lord's Prayer, and I was just kind of looking out into the night sky, and I'll never forget that feeling that I knew, she was going to a better place, and you could tell she was in pain. And I'll never forget just you feel different. You felt like it was there. That's just something bigger than you. It was in that moment, and yeah, I'll never forget that moment. So if someone asked me, kind of like you did that night, of when your faith first felt real, or what does faith mean to you, whatever the question, it was definitely that moment. I don't know if many people can pinpoint it like that, but I will never forget that moment.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. I mean, those people that have been a part of your life, those experiences that you take with, where God kind of whispers into your life, those are really powerful, and they stick with you your whole life long, which is, pretty amazing. I mean, now that you're this is just strange to even think about, right? Like, you're out of high school, you're out of college, you're starting your first, real gig, the Cole Kukowski thing. And, there's already people, younger than us, like high school students. I mean, what is it that you hope that they bring to the workplace or to the world, or what do you hope that this younger generation starts showing up with?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's the generation coming out of high school and college right now. It's the potential to do truly whatever they want, with the internet, and it might be hard for people to believe that. Think back when you were a kid. It's just how everything has evolved, and what that has opened up to starting your own business online, or whatever the case is. But I think first and foremost, just find what you're passionate about, and bring energy, bring juice every day to your life, personal life, business life, whatever it is. Find out what that why is in your life. Find the dream, and go chase it, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The being safe, and you can fail at being safe as well. And that's there's a video I listen to quite often while I work out and run, and that's part of it. It's actually Jim Carrey. I believe it's Jim Carrey. His father was an accountant because he didn't want to be a comedian, because he wanted to provide for his family. And he got fired from being an accountant. So you can take the safe route and still fail. So go after whatever you're passionate about, but bring energy, and leave everywhere a better place than when you got there.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate hearing that. That's encouraging even to me. Which is good. And that's 8 minutes. So for the overtime question is, who is your football team, and are we going to play football this fall?
I'm going to add a third question to that and say, are they going to win the Super Bowl? So the Vikings are my squad. Yes, there will be football. No, there will not be fans in the stands. And no, they're not going to win a Super Bowl.
I thought this pandemic year was our year, man.
Yeah.
There's just, this is the year that they would pull it off.
Yeah, maybe, but no, I tell you what, man, I appreciate you as well. Everything that you do for these kids is unlike anything that I had growing up. So it's Bethlehem's a powerful place, and you're a big part of that. So appreciate you as well.
Yeah, team effort. Well, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good day. Be good.
Yep.